let's start this show.
Hello! Welcome to another video on my channel. Today it's super special because Douglas and I are going to be celebrating our first year of marriage together, technically on May 4th. But we're doing this video early because I want to spend the day with him and I don't want to be spending it uploading, so we're doing this video early.
That's improv.
Okay.
I like improv.
Okay, improv. So, the idea of this video is for you to get to know not only me, but Douglas better. He's not going to be a permanent member of this channel because he keeps it resisting. But he's been popping up here and then, so you might as well know who the heck my husband is.
I shaved my head.
Oh yeah, and he shaved his head. I forgot to tell you guys. Look how handsome he is. Doesn't he look so much better like this?
A little fat though, but that's okay.
No, not fat. Just grown. We like them homegrown like potatoes.
Yes.
So anyway, we're going to be playing a game, and it's going to be like, kind of like how well do you know each other, but also we might get sidetracked and just start asking questions, or then maybe we might just start like talking about like marriage in general, because it's a new concept for both of us. We've never been married before, and we're doing it now, and we come from a unique situation where we spent a lot of time apart as a couple, like 3 years apart as a couple, because we were from 2 different countries.
Yes.
Then we got married under the K-1 visa process, so immigration is a struggle for anybody, but let alone like a young couple. And now we spent so much time apart, and now we're living through a time where we're literally quarantined together, and we've been spending every waking moment with each other. So it's very 2 different things within a year of marriage, which is already a testing time for anybody. So I feel like if you have any questions about marriage and stuff, we can make a dedicated video to that, or maybe I can speak on it. But I mean, it might be helpful to have a man's perspective too. I don't know where this video is gonna go. We're just gonna sit down and talk. So if you're here, you're here. If you don't want to hear it, you don't have to be here. But I would really appreciate you being here. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so let's try again the questions. I wrote down some questions. And some people on Instagram kind of helped me. Some people on Instagram also tried to plug their fucking businesses. That's rude. Don't do that. But it was rude.
It is all business.
I know. And I know I should be doing the same for my channel, but I don't want to do that. But anyway. So I'm going to ask some questions that I think Douglas should know. And then I could try to answer the same questions for him. Or maybe he has his own questions. I don't know. I just came prepared because that's who I am. So question number 1. Name a YouTuber that I watch regularly.
A YouTuber you watch regularly? I would say Noggin.
I do watch Noggin.
You watch Noggin a lot, especially for the Pokemon theories. I think that's...
Yes.
That's
so there's this other channel called Noggin. It's run by someone named Loxton. He's far more popular and influential than I am. But I watch that regularly because I like his theories. I think he comes up with
really cool.
ingenious ideas. So... that is correct. Now, should I answer that question for you?
You can try.
You listen to Joven Nerd.
Yes, I do listen to Joven Nerd a lot.
Explain to them what Joven Nerd is.
Joven Nerd is basically a channel where they do like nerd content with gameplays. They also have like Nerd Office, which is like sometimes they do like interviews with people, famous people. Sometimes they do like they talk about a particular topic. And they go like really deep into it. It's more fun than actually like instructive.
What anime character reminds you of me? I guess there's no right or wrong answer on this one, whether or not I like it.
Yeah.
What anime character reminds you of me? And then I'll do the same one for you.
I think it's Juvia.
Juvia.
The one from Fairy Tail.
Not the crazy bitch.
She kind of reminds me of you. Some sort, but she kind of does.
Why? Why am I Juvia?
I don't know.
Because I'm clingy?
I mean, she's really clingy, yes, but just the way she is, it kind of reminds me of you. Even the way she speaks, it's kind of the same.
That's so rude. I'm going to make you be a mean
But
one.
what about me? What do you think?
I'm going to make you a mean one.
No, don't make a mean one.
I know.
Make a mean one. I'm just like saying
the old guy in Dragon Ball. The old bald guy.
What?
In Dragon Ball.
Master Roshi?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Because you're bald.
It should be something that actually makes sense. I'm taking too much time to think.
You're Grandpa Jojo.
Grandpa Jojo.
From the third season, well, he was young JoJo in the second season. That's not you, because he's too young and scampy.
Yeah.
But you're the grandpa version of him in this third season of JoJo. That's who you are. I don't know, it's just you're not really, like, anime-y, you know?
Nope. My face doesn't resemble any anime. That's
But mine does.
Yours does, so yeah.
And you still pick Juvia of all freaking people. You could have said so many... See, this is why you need to watch My Hero Academia, because I'm totally Deku.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe personality. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a girl. It can be, like, cross-gender. So, like, if I had to pick someone from My Hero that I think you are, there's a lot of characters that would fit you, actually. Like, Actually, no, I take mine back. I know exactly who you are. You don't know who this individual is, but you should look him up. Okay. I don't remember his name, but he's Lei Million's friend who has the power where he eats things. He can turn into those things. He's very indecisive, sort of insecure, but has a lot of potential. So I think that's you. And he's kind of emo, so okay. I think that fits. So that's my pick for you. That's and good. It's my honest pick because I love you, not because I think you're clingy or anything. Okay. Okay, this is one we can both answer. What anime couple are we?
What anime couple are we? Oh, yeah. That's hard.
I know. I mean, I guess shippings count too. So even if they're not like a technical couple, if people ship them, I guess that's okay.
What do you think?
Well, I think you're a tsundere. And I think that I am like... I don't know what I am. I'm, like, cute, but I'm also kind of feisty and angry at the same time. I'm trying to think if there's any combos of that. I know Maid-sama. They're a cute couple, and I think they're similar to us, but you don't watch the Maid-sama, so you won't know.
But I do know the anime, though.
That's yeah, okay. The main guy, like, their whole love connection is that she's very hardworking, she's poor, she works at a maid cafe, she's really sweet, she has to be polite, but she's very goal-driven and is, like, walls up. And this guy's kind of cocky, and he, like, teases her all the time. And you tease me. I mean, you call me freaking Juvia, so, you know. I would pick them, I guess. Okay. Or we could be Vegeta and the...
Bulma? No.
No, am I not Bulma?
I don't think you're Bulma.
Why? I just don't want to be Juvia.
Sorry, what was one now?
But you didn't give an answer.
I'll go with your answer, actually. I actually don't know which one would be. I'm trying to think here. But
actually, no. We could be, okay, but like gender reversal. So you remember Host Club? And
right.
The one I made you watch?
The Host Club.
Except I'm the prince and you're the girl.
Oh my god, okay.
Actually, I think that fits.
I can actually see that.
Okay, let's do that one.
That can be fun.
Gender bent, yes.
That's actually nice.
Okay, so this one's pertinent to me.
Okay.
Name one of my Animal Crossing villagers.
Okay. I really like the chicken that was a knight.
But you don't know his name. He no longer lives on my island because I kicked him out.
I can say that it's Hank the Tank. There's Sherby.
Sherb is correct.
Sherby or Sherb?
Sherb.
Sherb.
You say Sherby because you're Brazilian.
But I think those two, and the lady that's the goat lady.
The goat lady.
The one is like Frida.
Frida, yes, she's a hot dog really... sheep thing. I hate her.
Oh, she's a sheep, yeah.
Yeah.
She's really annoying.
She's very annoying. Okay. So, I asked, you're playing the Assassin's Creed game right now, but you just beat it.
You're probably not gonna you're probably not gonna get any character at all, but that's okay.
Your wife. All I know is you talk about your wife a lot.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure she's very nice.
She's Egyptian.
Yeah, I know. That's why she's especially nice, huh?
She's really nice.
Oh my god. Douglas has a thing for
Egyptian
or Middle Eastern women, and I don't know how the fuck he ended up with me, but okay. Okay, this is another one that's pertinent to me.
Okay.
What Pokemon is the mascot from a YouTube channel?
Oh, it's the Cutifly. It's this little, I don't know if it's like supposed to be a mosquito type of thing. It kind of looks like, I'm sorry, but it kind of looks like it.
It's not a mosquito.
What is it then?
I don't know, but I don't want it to be a mosquito. It's like a weird type of bee. Like, I looked it up. It's like a Hawaiian bee or something. But, like, yeah. Because the evolutions were Bombi. But Cutifly
right. Yeah, Cutifly is the baby one. Yeah.
And the shiny is pink, and it's my favorite shiny, in case anyone wants to know. But yes, you were correct. What are each other's favorite memes?
This is really hard because we have so many memes.
We sit in bed every night and watch a compilation of Vines, which is mostly where we get our memes from.
I mean,
We don't actually have.
I know mine.
We don't wait.
For
We don't
sure.
have Vines. It's TikTok now.
It's TikTok
We're
now,
so
yeah.
fucking old. We don't have TikTok, so I've contemplated getting a TikTok in quarantine.
So
yeah, we sit like late at night and watch YouTube compilations of TikToks instead of actually being on TikTok.
Yours right now, I would say it is like memes related to Animal Crossing, anything related to Animal Crossing, especially with that song.
Oh, the KK Bubblegum.
I hate that song so badly.
You sing it every time.
Because I really don't like that.
Well, no, that's not my favorite.
Which one is mine though?
What? Wait, how's it go? Hello?
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 Yeah, that one is really
Hello?
cool. That actually is really cool.
I say that all the time instinctively. And I think
that is the...
That's a good one.
Do I look like?
Do I look like? Daddy?
Daddy?
Do I look like?
That one is just really cool too.
Yep. No, I think you like the monkey one now because you quoted that to my brother when we were on the phone with him.
Monkey.
That would crease me the fuck out.
That one was really cool too. Yeah, I like that one too.
Monkey. I like the ones with like dogs.
The dogs one.
But I just like dogs.
I like cats though.
But yeah, I do. Now I have KK Bubblegum stuck in my head.
I hate that song so badly.
I like Zoom memes too, but that's just because I have my classes online and stuff. So it's like relevant.
I mean, right now it's definitely relevant.
I follow Zoom memes for quarantine teens or some shit like that, and they're pretty lit.
They're pretty lit.
Yeah.
I am sure.
I should get on that Facebook group. What mythical creature would I be and why? And I'll do that for you too.
Mythical creature.
Yeah.
I think it would be a nymph.
A nymph?
Even though nymphs, I think that they have bad stereotyping.
Why?
I think it would still be a nymph.
Why does a nymph have a bad stereotype?
You know what they say about the nymphs. They are, they live in the fields and they walk around most of the time naked. So it's okay.
I am in a crop top and spandex shorts right now, so that's not wrong.
But I would say that.
A nymph. I can see myself being a nymph.
What about me? What do you think it would be a mythical creature?
Cyclops.
A cyclops?
I'm just teasing.
What the heck?
I don't know. I mean, I fantasize about you being a vampire, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
But you're not like... I feel like vampires have to be like cold, and although you think you're cold, you're not actually that cold. But you're not a werewolf either, because you're not like a puppy dog.
No.
So I think maybe... I could see you being like a Grim Reaper or a Reaper, like in like Supernatural.
I actually would.
Yeah, I think you could be a Reaper.
For not caring about people and shit. I think
No, they still care, but it's like part of their job, and they're supposed to ease the transition. They just know it's the natural order of things, so they don't place a moral value on it.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Which brings me to another question I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of us is Sam, and which one of us is Dean? If you don't know, that's a Supernatural reference.
I think it would be Cass.
You can't do that, because...
Just because...
No.
I think you would be... Let me think. I think you would be Sam.
Oh, fuck no. I hate Sam. I disagree with all of Sam's decisions. I love Dean.
I know, you love Dean.
I am Dean.
I still think that you would be Sam.
I am Dean. Dean is the loyal, protective big brother. He's a Gryffindor.
But that's why...
I'm a Gryffindor.
I don't think I would fit as Sam, though.
Yeah, you would. You're so over-analytical about everything and melodramatic.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Fine. I'll be Sam then, and you're Dean.
You just want to make me happy, because happy wife, happy life.
That's actually, it is a true thing, so just realize that, guys. That's okay.
Or ladies.
Or ladies.
Because we're accepting in this household.
Right.
Okay, so... what was your first impression of each other when we first met?
But it's really hard to say because I had my first impression actually when I saw you like in the staircase in the CC in Hanover College.
Yeah, you want to tell everybody about that experience?
That was an interesting experience because you had like red hair and you had like this crooked type of
Oh
like
yeah, this was my hair. I had like a
haircut.
bob, but it was
Yeah.
one sided. So this was short like this, and then this was a bob.
Yeah, that was like the first time that actually like remembering seeing you, and then of course later on it was in the dance floor of Lambda. It was pretty interesting.
It was Sigma Chi, not Lambda.
It was Lambda.
It was Sigma Chi. I will fight you on this till I die. You know why? Because it was the
Lambda.
graffiti party, and we were writing on each
In
other's
Lambda.
t-shirt. No, they don't have it at Lambda. It's a Sig tradition.
Really?
I swear to God, if you went to Hanover,
If
you went to Hanover College and you're watching this video and you're trying to sell this debate, tell Douglas in a comment or something on Facebook, wherever this is, that graffiti party is a Sigma Chi tradition, not a Lambda tradition.
I don't remember at all.
I wasn't Greek and neither was Douglas, but like being on the campus is really hard to avoid Greek life.
Yes, that's also true.
It's almost impossible to avoid it. So yeah, anyway.
That's
But
true.
yeah, that's how we met. I met him. I didn't really know who he was. I met him at the graffiti party because I went. This one girl was trying to recruit me for her sorority and then ended up ditching me because. But then I found one of my friends and she was dancing with all the international students. And you know, if you're in the middle of Indiana, then nobody else knows how to dance besides the international students. So I left all the white people behind and I was like, fuck that shit. And I went to go dance and I was dancing with somebody else first, but then this beautiful Latino gentleman asked for my hand and danced with me and was very enthusiastic about it.
Let's put it this way.
And my first impression of Douglas was that.
First, you thought I was actually American because I did not speak with you.
Yeah, you didn't say a damn thing. You just kept making out with me, so I didn't even know you were Brazilian.
But then later on,
and then you kept talking, and then I noticed you had an accent, and I was like, well,
but Felipe was the one that kissed you first.
Yeah, Felipe kissed me first. So basically, what happened? We were dancing, and I was like, okay, this man's a little too much. I need to get a drink. So I was like, I'm gonna go drink now, and then he came with me. And I was in the dirty bathroom at the frat house where boys and girls just pee all over the place.
That was horrible.
And I was trying to fix up my makeup and it looked really, really gross. And then Douglas wanted to lean in and kiss me, but then his big ass Brazilian friend, and when I mean big, like tall ass Brazilian really friend, tall, yeah. Came in drunk as a skunk, and he was like, "Wow, you are so beautiful." And then that was exactly and that. I was like, what? Okay.
That was actually them.
Thank you. And then, oh, yeah. See, it's just like Felipe.
But that was nice. That was a nice.
My first impression of Douglas, honestly, was like, okay, we should sleep together. And I'm not afraid to admit that because that was the intention. Because I never had a one-night stand before. I just broke up with a serious boyfriend. I tried dating around and I wasn't having any luck. So I was like, no more dating. This sucks. So I just wanted casual relationships. And now we're married.
That casual.
We casually got married. Do you want to do what's our first impression of each other's families?
Oh, families.
Yeah.
Well, your family was definitely... not the traditional American family, I would say.
Why?
Because, well, your family was not traditional American because I think it was a little more louder than I thought and more welcoming in the sense. Yeah. And that for us is like really common, like especially in Brazil, it's super common. But it was super different. Like I had experience with other friends in other friends' families when we went to visit for like a holidays and shit, and it was completely different. Mm-hmm. And I think that I kind of like click with that idea, so it was super like cool and chill, and it was really scary in the beginning because it was okay. A lot of people speaking in English, but not just that, I need to make a good impression.
It's hard. It's a challenge.
So it would be like, it is the same like with any relationship. You always want to do a good impression in your first try there. So it was the same for me in this sense. But it was super positive. Like your mom is just amazing. And your dad is super cool too. Yeah. And your brother, oh my god, your brother. I love your brother. Love your sister too. Yeah. So it was really nice to have contact with you
Yeah.
and everyone from your family and your cousins. Oh my god,
Yeah.
all of them are.
Oh, I
I
know.
just freaking
People
amazing.
think I'm loud, and then they meet my family, and they're like, "Holy crap!" you know. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But how about yours and
Oh,
mine?
Jesus Christ. I was so nervous. Okay, so when I met Douglas's family for the first time, it was my first time in Brazil, period.
Yes.
I didn't really know Portuguese at the time. Douglas had been teaching me a few things, and I was pretty fluent in Spanish. So I understood the grammar concepts, but I would always confuse Spanish words for Portuguese words all the time.
Yes.
If somebody tells you they're similar, like, they are structurally, but they don't sound the same at all.
Not at all.
It's like Portuguese is in the throat, Portuguese is in the throat and the nose, and Spanish is just in the mouth, which is how I noticed it. So, like, I would try my best to be respectful when I was communicating to, like, your mom and stuff, but there was honestly to God times, like, I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I would just blurt out a Spanish word instead of a Portuguese one.
Yes.
And I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but that was just, like, literally I was thrown into it, and this one would leave me alone in rooms with his relatives who didn't speak English. And I was like, girl,
if you fit in.
Girl, I'm on my training wheels. Like, hey.
But that was good because especially when you were talking with my mom and my dad and everyone, but especially with my mom, like, I knew for sure that was a moment that I could tell that you were really comfortable.
No, I would try my best to be respectful, and it was a fun experience because I learned a lot. Like, I was there. I think why we got along so much is I was there to learn instead of just being. So, in a selfish way, I just wanted to experience Douglas's culture where he came from. I wanted to see his reality so I could better understand.
The same way that I experienced yours.
Yeah, exactly. But, I try my best to listen and be open to things because also I don't want them to get the impression that I'm just some, like, American person showing up and just, like, thinking I'm better than them or whatever, because that's the stereotype, and I really didn't want to be the stereotype.
Yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes. From Americans to Brazil and then Brazilians to Americans. Right. There's always a stereotype.
Yeah, I try my best to be respectful, and I think your mom got along. I know she was a little bit harder to please than your dad. I think your dad loved me right away.
My dad loved you.
I loved I still should say, your dad and I are like besties.
He was really cool, yeah.
Oh, I love your dad.
He likes you, yeah. My mom also
I know.
You
your mom and I get along
but
too.
But she was definitely a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, she was more cautious. But, like, I liked being on the farm, and I like doing all that stuff, even though I'm not a farm person whatsoever. Period. But, like, I think what's beautiful is that you and I come from at least similar class structures, I think. So, like, we've had similar experiences in our lives, even though they're from completely different countries. Like,
right.
I grew up in Indiana. I was surrounded by farms, so I know what farm culture is like, and that just kind of transferred over that way, and my family was Catholic. I understand what Catholicism is, and I think your mom ended up liking me a lot more because I went to church with you and did all that stuff too.
That's for a lot of points.
Yeah, but no, I think your family's very close and very tight knit. But I was, like, extremely nervous, and my first impression of them was that they're generally like you said, they were really welcoming, more welcoming than I thought they would be.
I mean, like all the Brazilians, to be honest, like we tried our best to be welcoming.
Right. No, that's why I love Brazilians. I really do.
And it's Minas Gerais, so...
Yeah, and it's Minas, so the food was bomb.
Oh, yeah.
The food was good. The people were good. Nature is beautiful. Oh, my freaking God. It looked like... I believed your mama. She said God is in Brazil. I said, yeah, I think so, because it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's serene. It's a whole different air, and I don't know. People don't experience that in U.S. I don't think they do.
That is true.
So... if you were to describe our first year of marriage in one word, what would it be?
If I would describe our first year of marriage in one word, I think it would be understanding.
Understanding. Why would it be understanding?
Because we had like a several years in long distance relationship, and then also is a huge toll on us, especially because since we're not seeing each other like physically every day, that's one thing.
I know, but that's like marriage.
Right.
But we weren't married.
But when we got married, then we actually like experienced how it's to be together.
Yeah.
24/7, Yeah. So I think in all this process that we had, like in 1 year, we had like our ups and downs a lot, but I say understanding because we kind of like learned how to, or relearned because in the
Yeah.
beginning, especially in Hanover, we had like more contact.
Yeah.
But in marriage, like after this first year, I would say like we had more contact with each other. We
Right.
actually learned how to understand more like how each other is, how we actually, our systematic ways sometimes, or stubbornness sometimes. So it was really interesting to see how we grew in that part.
Yeah,
That's
because
why I would say
I
that's
think it's
understanding.
important for people to remember that like people change and grow.
They do. They do.
The last time,
Everyone.
so Douglas and I were apart for 3 years. The first year we were dating, we kind of lived together.
Right.
Like, we crashed at each other's dorms all the time. I practically lived at his place. That was for a short amount of time, and I was 19 years old. And you were 25, right? Now I'm going to be 25 in June, and you are going to be 31 in October. So I am not the same version of myself as I was when I was 19. So
that is true.
Like, even though we technically lived together for that little bit, that was a whole other human being that he lived with. It wasn't who I am now.
Yes.
And like, I think that's important for people to keep in mind when you're married. And like, obviously we've only been married a year, but I feel like we can still speak on this because you marry a person because you love them for who they are and who
Right.
they are in that moment, and that's wonderful. But also you need to love them for who they're going to be in the future, and you have no control over that, really. And
Right.
you just have to be there for the ride. And some people, grow into another version of themselves, but their partner doesn't like it.
Right.
Or,
right.
They're different from who they were, and then it causes issues. And like, there's a million reasons why marriage could go wrong, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand that part of the reality when it comes to a relationship.
And it's also like a dialogue, to be honest.
Yeah.
The thing that actually kept us like grounded was actually open dialogue.
Right.
With everything. So you would know and I would know when you were changing too. Even though we were in a distance, all this time. So we knew for a fact that it would change, and when we got together, we had like that realization that okay, that person's probably not the same person that I met.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like a more mature person,
right?
And
but
I think that's good.
Yeah, and we've talked along the way. It's not like we didn't speak to each other for months or anything like that.
Oh no, every day. But what about you? What is
my
your
first word that came to mind was surprising.
Surprising, okay.
Like, not in a good or bad way, but it just, I guess, like, I don't know what to expect.
I mean, no one knows.
And no one should know. Right.
It's marriage.
I don't know. I constantly was surprised by things that came up. And, and the stuff we've had to deal with, but the stuff that's been fun, everything's been a surprise, but it's been good. Like, when we were first married, we lived in an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment with like,
we shared with
how many other people? That in itself was a challenge at times for various reasons. I didn't think that's how my first couple months of being a newlywed would go, but it was, and then, after that, we got our own place. It presented itself with beautiful blessings and other challenges too. But then, like, we've done a lot of hard shit that's popped up and it's been a surprise, but we've also done a lot of cool stuff that's popped up and it's been a surprise, So I like that, and I want our marriage to continue to be surprising. And also surprising because, nobody predicted a pandemic.
Nobody. Well,
surprise! I mean,
some
technically some people did, but people chose to ignore.
But people just
that's
chose
politics.
To ignore. But that's another topic.
That's another thing. Okay, what is the best thing about being married?
The best thing is actually like just be with the person and enjoy the person's being there, because at least that's what I can tell, because when we were in the distance, that was the thing that I most craved. Is actually be with the person. And you are still my best friend, and I consider that. So it's really nice to have you around. So we always have fun together. We always like to do things together. And I think that's really nice. I would definitely say that that's the best thing, is being together,
Yeah.
What about you?
You might be trying to butter me up because you probably know that's what I would have said too.
No, I'm not trying to butter anyone up. I literally just think that too,
it's literally just, I don't know. And I'm going to be speaking from a completely honest place right now. I would be a different human being if you weren't in my life.
Me the same.
And I don't think... And I don't mean to be depressing or like be like, oh, I wouldn't, my husband's my identity. No, that's not it. But like, you've shaped me for the better. And I think that if I didn't have your presence in my life, I'd be a completely different person. That I don't think I would have liked that person. honestly.
Me too. Me too.
You know,
it might be
and
the when we first started dating and all this stuff.
yeah.
I was also like a different person.
I mean, no, I mean, we already went over that.
And we were all like learning too. So
Right.
and I do think that like because we mature too and all this stuff, uh, I definitely can say that like
Yeah.
it is nice to be together and do things together.
Yeah, I think we're very privileged because we are married. Like, I tell people, I felt married to Douglas from the very beginning. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, we were best friends. We clicked right away. We had a couple of fights in the beginning of our relationship.
But everyone has.
It's that, and it was more of, like...
It's more for temperament.
Temperament and defining what commitment would look like for a couple with a unique situation like ours.
Right.
It's hard to define that. And once we smooth through that kind of stuff, like, everything else was smooth sailing. There's not been a single doubt in my mind. And, like, we are best friends. I can go to him and tell him about everything. Like, it's true transparency, which you need in a relationship. Like, you don't need to watch each other poop on the toilet.
No, please don't.
Please don't do that. But, like...
We never do that.
No,
and we
like,
would never
boundaries are important. But the thing is, like, I'm transparent with him every time. Like, if I get bad news from my family, if something happens with my friend groups, if it's... He is always there for me. And in turn, you need to be that person for somebody else, too. And, like, honestly, I don't know what I would do. I couldn't survive quarantine by myself. Like, he is my best friend. And he is literally my anchor and... everything I could ever want in a partner, period. So. Yeah! I can be nice too, even though you call me Juvia.
I still like Juvia. I think that Juvia's nice.
I'll be obsessed with you. I kind of am, so it's fine. I'll be obsessed with you.
Oh my god. Okay.
So yeah, no, that's my favorite part is, like you said, being with your best friend is freaking cool. And if you find your best friend and somebody in a platonic relationship or someone in your family group, or if you find it in a romantic way like we do, like, build that up, it doesn't, I think everybody should be married to their best friend, but best friends also take the form of, like, sisters or friends or moms. And yeah, so I don't know, it's important to foster whatever relationships you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the worst thing about being married?
Worst thing about me marriage. Okay, so I think it's definitely, I mean, in our case right now, it's because our space is so limited. And even though I love to be together with you, I am super, super introverted. So I need my times that I just need to, like, play some games or stuff alone. But because we're on the same space, and I cannot, like, do this transition to, like, another space, that is, I think that right now is the worst part. That I still have, like, my privacy, and you still have your privacy, no problems at all. But, like, sometimes I just need to, like, okay, I just want to, like, play some games and lay down on that. But right now we cannot.
This is why he thinks I'm Juvia, because I'm extroverted, so I love being around other people. Yes, and because we're in quarantine and I have no other option, I love to be around Douglas.
Around me. So it's like one of those things, like, at the same time that is really, really good. It's one of those challenges that we need to, like, face in this situation right now, Maybe later on when we have our own, like, place and house and shit, maybe that could be different.
Well, I mean, I understand, because there's that one yesterday or the day before, I literally just sat in the bathtub and watched YouTube videos, and you're like, where did you go? Yeah, and you're like, you're like, hey, are you okay? I said, yeah.
I literally, we were like, I was at work, and I was on my computer, I was working, and then I had a meeting, and then after the meeting, I was like, where's Cassidy? And then when I went to the bathroom, Cassidy was there. And I was like, well, what you're doing
being
there?
My quirky
Are you okay?
self.
But at the same time, like, it's one of those things, it's the whole situation right now. That's really...
Yeah, it sucks.
It really sucks.
That's kind of about marriage. I guess, like, your issue is, like, defining your space in a situation where everything is ours. Is that right?
Because I still want my X-Wing miniatures, space, and everything else.
Do I ever say no?
We just don't have that space. That's the only worst of the marriage so far.
Because we're poor.
We're
not poor. We have situations, but we live in a studio apartment in Boston.
Right.
And nobody in their right mind can afford anything other than a studio apartment in Boston.
Right now we cannot.
To be real.
Right now we cannot.
So we've tried our best to mesh. And I think we have meshed well, but you're right. There's just not enough.
We're doing really good.
I think
at the same time, we need our own particular office or space or someone that we can like call, okay, this is the space that I can have my things
I
in
would
and
love
stuff.
a film studio, but right now,
Right
that's
now
not
it's
a
kind
thing.
of like impossible.
Right, that's hard, yeah.
What about you? What
The
is your worst?
hardest part
Or the
of
hardest?
being married. I don't know. I mean, there's things that are hard. I think, okay, so practically the hardest thing is that now there's double the mess. I hate that shit. There's
Yes.
double the dishes and that pisses me off. That's but that's something you can't help because you're not living by yourself anymore.
Not anymore.
But I think another thing that's really hard is that you so I used to be a resident assistant, and basically with that job you really had to be on call, so like a certain like I was in a girl's dorm and I was supposed to be in charge of their well-being, and so sometimes a girl would walk into my room at 3 a.m. and be like an emotional wreck literally because her friend was trying to commit suicide or something, and I would have to drop everything and just be there and like listen and just be like mentally ready for those situations. And that was hard, but also that does prep you for marriage because you still have to do that for your partner, you know?
Right.
I mean, you should be mindful and always ask your partner, like, hey, can I talk to you about something? Or do you have, hey, something's bothering me, can we talk about it now? You should always be polite and ask, and we do that for each other, but also you need to be able to take on sometimes other people's emotions, not just your own.
Right.
And not that like that's necessarily like hard because I don't want to do it, but sometimes it is emotionally taxing for me because
Especially because I don't share.
well, no, you don't. So I
So
know.
that also is one.
Well, you do, but you do. You share me about like sometimes you just need to vent. It's not even like a deep
Right.
emotional thing, but sometimes you need to vent about work or whatever. And I do my best. My problem is I always stop and I put everything I'm doing and I listen. But the problem is I'm too empathetic. So sometimes my whole world stops to listen to what you're doing. You know, and like I'm still gonna do that. I know that's my default setting. Like I'm still gonna do that forever.
Yeah.
But for me, I need to figure out how to balance my emotions and yours.
Right.
And not get too worked up over like small issues. Sometimes it's literally just somebody needs you just an ear and they need to vent and nothing more. That's the part I struggle with because I always want to turn something. I always say like, okay, what's the deeper connection behind this? Sometimes there's not. Sometimes there is, and it's important to hash those out eventually too, but it's also respecting another person that they might need more time to do that than you do, because I'll put my cards on the table. I don't care. I'll be like, I'm upset about this and this relates to some psychological trauma I have, blah 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 blah. I'll talk about my emotions all day long. He doesn't, right? So I have to be more patient with that, and I think for me that's hard about a marriage is understanding the emotional differences and how to constructively, you know, be supportive for somebody who is emotionally different from you, because we're kind of flip-floppy on that part. We're similar in a lot of ways in terms of like our morals and our beliefs and things like that, but when it comes to like emotional processes, we're a little bit different.
Yeah. That is also true. Wow, the camera really fattens us, huh? Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? I'm a queen.
But you're a queen, I'm not.
I'm a queen, even though you say I'm Julia.
I know.
That hurt my feelings, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll forgive you eventually. Okay, so how about our last question? Relationship advice.
Relationship advice.
I guess. I don't know.
Don't try too hard.
Okay, yeah.
It's just not worth it. It's really not. Just like, I don't know. For all the experience I had in my past and everything else, and you had in your past too, like, trying too hard is one thing that people sometimes do, and I don't think that's healthy, nor for the person, nor for the other person, the partner. So just let things happen, like, normally, and cut loosey, just let it happen, just to see how that goes. That's what I can tell, I think. I don't know.
Well, okay, sir. I think we try hard with each other, don't we?
I mean, not really. Our love was pretty like easy. It was really easy to love.
That's beautiful.
What was
Our love
hard?
was easy. The situations were hard.
Yeah, what was hard was the situation.
Yes.
The situation of like, okay, we're miles away,
right?
Thousands and thousands of miles away, and we are like trying our best to like see each other every year,
Right.
every 6 months sometimes. So that part was hard, but
Right.
hard does not
Mean
mean that
great.
like it's great, you know.
Right.
So
Right, I agree.
it's just a situation, but the love itself was pretty. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
click,
I
pretty
think
easy,
that's
so.
good advice because I think a lot of people stay in the relationship or they romanticize struggle.
Right.
So they will say
It's
like,
not cool, man.
"Oh, we're like
Struggle is not cool
Romeo
at
and
all.
Juliet," blah blah blah.
It does not exist.
And people did that to us for the longest time
It's a bunch of bullshit.
because people romanticize the idea that we were so far away from each other and like they're like, "Oh my god, that's true love because you're willing to sacrifice so much for each other." And we're like, yeah, but we wouldn't fucking do it if we didn't have to, you know? Like,
Right,
in some ways, like, I understand that the intention was good, but it was rude when people... I thought it was rude. I think... Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you are in a relationship, it's important to ask the question, is the situation hard or is the person hard?
Was the person hard?
If that person's hard to love, you
it's
shouldn't be in that relationship.
Just move out.
If you have any doubts whatsoever, just move on. There's like literally 3 billion, 7 billion people in the world.
Growing.
And growing. So chances are you'll find somebody else. But if the situation's hard, I don't think that's enough to necessarily
Stop.
Yeah. You should really evaluate your personal strengths and what you want. And, you know, some people can't do long distance, and that's totally fine too. As long as you're honest about it. But, yeah, don't stay with a person if they're making the relationship hard. Or if you're making the relationship hard. Recognize that you're screwing up too, you know?
Because it's also like a...
Or you just trust. You don't trust, you don't mesh, you have to work on yourself before you fully give to somebody else. That's totally valid.
You know, like Cassidy and I, we had like several differences in terms of background. Yeah. But at the same time, we had experience too in our background. So at the time that I think we started dating, we kind of like was realizing, okay, I think that right now I kind of just want to chill for a little bit. So that was nice. Yeah. So because of that, trust kind of increased, and trust is only built with dialogue. Yeah. Open dialogue and being like really sincere to each other. Mm-hmm. I think that's like the first thing to come in my head, because visa, immigration, all this stuff, they're just minor things. Right. They're just one rock on the path. But the whole thing is like being with Cassidy and being with you, that was actually really nice, you know, and it's still super, super cool, you know. And I can see that for like a long time because I feel really comfortable with the person. And I think that that's one other thing to consider is like, if you're comfortable with the person, if you actually can see that person like easy in terms of like relationship.
I don't know. If I were to give marriage advice,
what would you say?
Patience.
Patience
is a virtue. Understanding that sometimes situations aren't directly about you. Right. And try not to take things personally. Again, speaking from personal experience. And that, you know, don't focus on the negative as much. Good things will come, bad things will come. That's just how life is.
It's a process.
Even outside your marriage, good and bad is going to come no matter what. And it's important just to be receptive to the bad and the good, because the bad's only going to make the good look better.
What Cassidy says makes a lot of sense, you know.
I always make sense.
Trying to like see life like, even if it's something is hard right now, doesn't necessarily, it's just a phase, you know. And if you believe in each other, if you believe that each other has potential, that's what also like believing in the other partner is also something. If you see that partner, that partner has potential. Right. No, I agree. It is something else too, because we are all seeking our dreams, we're all seeking our like, you know, adventures and stuff. Mm-hmm. But understanding like that and realizing that in the other person, so hey, that person actually has potential. Right. That is really, really important too.
All right, and I'm glad you hit on that, because I also think that goes into what I was saying earlier about thinking about the future. And when I met Douglas, we made it very clear to each other what our ambitions were in life. Like, we wanted to travel, we wanted to earn that coin. And that was both very, and that might not be. We're still in the process. I mean, we're not yet.
But it's okay. It's
we trying, okay. But like we both have very ambitious goals, and it's important that those goals line up with each other, or else you won't be happy. And I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm sure you are too. Right. Like, if you're more ambitious than your partner, and you choose to stay with that partner because they could be perfect in every other way, right? They could be really nice and shit. But you'll ultimately end up hating them if you stay with them. And
That is also true.
it's not their fault. But if they want a more simplistic lifestyle and you want something more like grand, or if you have a big dream and you want to chase it, chase that dream. Don't chase that person, because the right person will come along and help make that dream a reality, and that's the support system you need. And like I said, that shouldn't be your focus. It should be your dreams, and everything else will fall in line.
Just fall in line. Yeah. But of course, it's our first year of marriage.
Yeah.
We still have like
we still
some
want to
time to go.
We're talking on our pedestal right now because we survived 1 year, but we don't know everything, and we don't know about what's to come. Hopefully wonderful things come in the future.
Hopeful.
And we can make more videos for you guys every year and talk about what we learned and what we know.
That'd be nice.
But other than that, I think we've kind of talked way more than this video was meant to be longer. I'll probably edit some stuff down. But you know, my videos are always long. But thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and let us know what you thought in the comments down below. If you listen to our advice, or you think we're a bunch of full of hooey, you can say that too. I don't care.
You can say that too. That's okay. Nobody cares.
Thank you so much for supporting this channel. It would mean the world to me if you liked this video, shared it with a friend, or even subscribe to the channel to see more content.
Interact with us if you'd like to. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Douglas. Douglas has been on here very frequently lately, but he's not present in a lot of my Pokemon videos because he doesn't really give a shit about Pokemon. He's into
I like the games though.
He's into other things. But every time I do a personal video, he kind of pops up some way or shape or form. And this is very much a personal video because, like I said, it's our first marriage anniversary. So we thought we would share our little private life with all of you. So thank you for watching, and until next time, thanks. Bye!
All right.